All right, honey bunnies, let me be honest. When I first saw the early info for version 3.2, my first reaction was not hype, it was fear. Because whenever a gacha game is suddenly nice to players, you know something is coming. And usually what is coming is financial pain wearing a very pretty character design. Right now, the biggest talking point is Sigrika, who is expected to be the only new limited 5-star in 3.2. If this ends up being true, this is actually huge for anyone trying to save Astrites, Lunites, or whatever emotional coping currency you personally use. One new limited unit in an entire patch is basically the game telling you to breathe, and that is suspicious behavior. From what is floating around, Sigrika is rumored to be a 5-star Arrow Gauntlet user, and she is expected to function primarily as a main DPS. The interesting part is that most of her damage is said to revolve around echo skills, which is honestly kind of funny because echo builds are either god tier or completely scuffed depending on your luck and how many times the game decides you deserve flat defense. There is also heavy speculation that the Sound of True Name echo set is basically built for her. The set supposedly boosts arrow damage, gives echo skill crit rate, and then gives even more arrow damage after you deal echo skill damage. If that ends up being accurate, then congratulations, we are looking at another character who is married to a specific echo set. Farming enjoyers, please prepare emotionally. On the rerun side, current leak chatter from a source known as Iris suggests that Qi Yuan could be getting a rerun during this version. If you skipped before, this might be your redemption arc, or your downfall, depending on how strong your self-control is. Now moving forward into version 3.3, this is where things start getting messy in a way that is both exciting and slightly terrifying for your Astrite savings. The current expectation is that this version could introduce Hayuki, the Shrine Maiden, as a 5-star and Denya as a 4-star. Shrine Maiden is described as having white hair and a classic red Shrine Maiden outfit, and she is expected to be a Glacial Sword main DPS. If that ends up being real, Glacial teams could suddenly spike in value depending on what kind of mechanics she brings and how hard she scales. And rightfully so, after over a year of practically being ghosted by Kuro games. Meanwhile, Denya is rumored to be a Glacial Rectifier and follows a familiar pattern for the Element's resonators like Baizi, Yuhu, and Jeiji, who all use rectifiers and typically lean towards support-focused roles. There is also the anniversary angle. Version 3.3 is predicted to land around late April, possibly around April 30, which lines up suspiciously well with anniversary timing. And if the game follows older patterns, this could mean mass rerun banners, which sounds great until you realize it means every character you skipped might come back at the same time to emotionally damage you. Then we move into version 3.4, which is shaping up to be chaos in the best possible way. This is where the Cyberpunk Edgerunners collaboration is expected to land, featuring Lucy and Rebecca as 5-star characters. Yes, that Lucy and that Rebecca. Right now, there is basically zero reliable information about their kits, elements, or roles, which means theory crafters are currently surviving entirely on vibes and hope. But collaborations usually mean strong kits, unique mechanics, or at minimum, very high pull temptation. Lucilla is now being pushed more toward the 3.4 timeline in leak discussions, with speculation that she could be a Glacio sub-DPS. But again, this is still very early info territory, so treat it like a weather forecast from a gal looking at clouds. If all of this ends up being close to accurate, the pacing actually makes a lot of sense. 3.2 gives players breathing room, 3.3 possibly hits with anniversary pressure and Glacio power creep, and then 3.4 comes in with a collab that will absolutely destroy Astrite savings across the entire player base. Of course, all of this is based on leaks, speculation, and the collective detective work of the community. Things things can change, kits can change, entire characters can move patches, so do not make life decisions based on banner leaks, unless you are emotionally prepared for consequences. But if you are planning pulls, 3.2 might genuinely be a good recovery patch, which again makes me nervous, because gacha games are never nice without a reason. Anyway, I want to know what you think. Are you saving for Sigrika? Are you waiting for anniversary reruns? Or are you already mentally preparing for the Edgerunners collab to end your savings completely? Either way, good luck, and may your echo rolls never give you flat defense at level 25.